Hey everyone, I'm Michael Bruce, CMO at Agent Moves, and welcome to our Good to Great series. We're all about sharing the amazing stories of top realtors and how they got there so we can help make more realtors great. So let's jump in today. I'd like you to meet Panarelli. Did I get that right, Justin?
Panarelli. It's close.
All right, beautiful, pretty close. Panarelli. Okay. My name is impossible for anyone to say, so I'm always sensitive to that. So meet Justin. And before we get started, I always love to talk about something else outside of real estate, and then we'll talk about how he got there. But I think something interesting about Justin, we were chatting, and he's had a ton of jobs. He told me he's not that interesting, which I don't believe. But he told me was a troubled teen. And also, as a young guy, had a son early, which I think is amazing. I was relatively young when I had my kids, so I think it's incredibly positive, being like a young dad with your kids. Let me tell you, I'm able to run half marathons and ski with them. And now it's a whole different world when you get through those
I
first
don't know
20
if I'm in that good a shape.
We'll get you there. But tell us about, your journey. Tell us about, a little bit, pre getting into real estate, what were you doing? And then we'll talk about like what got you there? How did you get, hooked on real estate?
I am 35. I ended up having a child when I was younger, about 16 years old. He's 18 now. Beautiful kid, love him. Prior to real estate, I mean, I wasn't doing a lot with my life. Like you said, I used the term troubled teen. I was kind of just running around the streets. So after that, started working in factory jobs, warehouse jobs, picking up temp jobs, basically trying to grow up, fast food, serving, eventually moved into sales and ended up running a call center that fundraised for political and nonprofit causes, ended up being a manager and a call center director there. I had about 120 employees under me at the time. And moved it from there into car sales, and then while I was in car sales, I was working for a commercial real estate agent in Florida as an administrator. He had something going on with Craigslist. I used to post ads for him on Craigslist so he could generate leads, and kind of got into a conversation with him about real estate, and asked him about getting licensed, and he said to look into the state licensing laws and all that. Before you knew it, I was applying for my real estate license, and 6 years into it. So,
Wow.
yep.
Yeah, so great way to get started. Great story. Love the success stories. And, you did it. Got yourself out of whatever was going on,
Yeah.
to get involved in a sales situation, run a call center. I've been to many of those. That is something. Dealing with that, it's a whole different world. Never mind the call center process, but the staff as well, I know is, quite unique at those kind of places. So, you did it, right? So you got there, you found something, and now here you are, you found your niche in real estate, which is awesome. So tell us a little bit about getting started that first year. You got your license, you got involved. Tell us about, how it kicked off.
So I had about $10,000 in my bank, and I decided I was going to go full time right off the bat, which is probably can I swear on this? It was probably the scariest fucking decision I've ever made in my life. To jump right into a commission-based sales career, not even job, and not really know the first thing about what's going on. But let's be realistic. Once you get licensed, they kind of just throw you to the wolves. You have no idea what the hell you're doing after you get your license. So I ended up being really lucky. I had a friend, Jamal, that was in real estate prior, and he was out in Boston. He was doing some property management out there, and he ended up getting me hooked up with a guy called Nick McNeil in Keller Williams out in Worcester. And Nick ended up being my mentor I met him about a month into me being at Keller Williams Realty out in Worcester, and he just took me under his wing for 3 to 6 months. We've actually become great friends. We still go golf. We go out to lunch. We go hang out, have a couple of drinks every once in a while. When I was drinking anyway, I'm not drinking anymore. But we ended up becoming great friends. I consider this guy one of the people that changed my life. Honestly, okay, Both of them, actually, Jamal Lanza and Nick McNeil. So yeah, I learned a lot from, at the end of the day, I learned a lot from Nick. I didn't really learn much from the brokerage that I was at. I mean, you got a little bit of the tidbit here and there, something from, an agent here and there, but overall, um, having somebody that cared about my success, whatever his motivation was at the time, I have no clue. But having somebody that cared about my success and had so much knowledge about the business, it helped me take off in my first year. And to add to that, the funny thing is outside of the teaching that I got from that I got from him, one of the things that got me off the ground was actually going against a little bit of his advice at one point. Because, we got the basics, we go over the contracts, we go over negotiation, what's agency, what does a real estate agent do? What does a realtor do? And all of the in-betweens from A to Z. But obviously lead generation is a big thing. And, I was thinking to myself, because we're working Sphere, we're working referral, all the good stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, if I was going to buy a house and I didn't know anything about it, what would I do? And I just kind of reverse engineered that. And I go to Google and I type in homes for sale. And what's the first thing that comes up is Zillow. So everybody at the time when I'd first started said, stay away from Zillow. And it's probably a good idea, honestly, but money's green. So I signed up for a Zillow account, which I was paying probably at that time, $400 a month for like 100% in every zip code, because nobody was using it at the time. And within 3 months, I ended up quadrupling my return, more than like 20 times it. And then by the end of the year, I had spent $5,000 on this, and I had made $100,000. So funny thing is the guy who taught me, he said he caught me doing. He's like, "Where are you getting all these leads from?" He's like, "I told you not to sign." He's like, that's the enemy." I'm like, "Yeah, but it made me money." So that's how I was able to at least build my first bit of my sphere. I feel like I'm kind of over talking here. Sorry, go ahead.
It's great. Listen, sometimes, like, again, a nugget of, we're looking at people watching these interviews, and any nugget of data, you had a gut feeling about Zillow at that time and bought into it, and it worked for you, right? So you never know. I think the part of the mentorship is excellent. I mean, it seems very consistent in this category that people that have a mentor or have someone they work with, their success is, way greater than the ones that try and just make this on their own and think they can do it by themselves.
I feel like it's a must. And I got lucky in the sense that I found a guy that wasn't even looking for a percentage of my deals or anything. He genuinely just wanted to see me succeed. And if you can find that person, you have to track that person down and find them. Because I didn't know that at first when I started real estate, but that's what I tell everybody that's getting into it, is find somebody to mentor you. Like, and I'll take people on every once in a while and try to help them out as well. So,
yeah, I'm sure.
Pass it along.
Exactly. I'm sure, everything you've been through, and then to have that experience, I can feel it from you that you're the kind of guy that does, pass it forward, and, you're going to do the next person out of nowhere and help change their life. So you get in, you get the Zillow leads coming in, you have a great freaking year with Zillow. Awesome. Tell me about the next couple of years. What goes on? Do you build the sphere of influence? How are you generating leads? Did you stay with Zillow, or were you, working?
I tried to move away from it, because I mean, there was such a push away from generating leads with Zillow. I understand the reasoning for it now, obviously. But what I started to do was build my own systems up. I had already had a CRM at that point. I used Follow Up Boss. I still use it. I think Follow Up Boss is one of the best CRMs that you can have if you're in real estate. But I, had a website built, went through a couple of different marketing companies, and started doing Facebook lead generation, and Google ad lead generation. and setting up the processes for it. I mean, you have a Zillow lead come in, right? They're right on the phone with you. They've clicked on the property. They've been on Zillow for 3-4 years looking at properties. If you know what you're doing, you have about a 30% chance to convert that lead that you have on the phone. They're going to turn into a deal within 3 months if you know what you're doing. These systems and processes that I built started to take in the early part of the funnel, the people that were just starting to think about buying a house or selling a house. And that's a whole different ball game of follow-up, nurturing, and staying in contact and keeping people engaged. So this was a new thing that I had to learn how to do. Is, I now have these leads coming into my CRM that are top of the funnel, and they are not even sure what their price point is yet. They're not sure if they're even going to buy within the next year or so. We had qualifying questions for people that were submitting the forms on our website, like, what's your time frame? A lot of people would say 12 months. Sometimes those people that said 12 months ended up converting within three months, and then there's people that I've had in my database for 6 years that I'm still talking to. But a lot of it came down to setting up the automations and using a lot of the new tools that were coming out at that time, where, a website where you can see into the back end on your CRM, what are they doing on the website? Are they looking at homes? Are they looking at particular homes multiple times? Are they interacting with anything on the website? Just little bits and dots here to say, okay, this is something I can follow up with them about. I have reports sent out to them, seller reports that, have an estimated value. Here's your estimated equity. This is what you could do if you were to sell your home and take equity out of your home and go buy a property for an Airbnb. This, just getting all of those nurture tools in there for people that are all the way in the beginning stages of thinking about buying a home, and then running them all the way down to the bottom of the funnel. That was the next step, was trying to build that. That took me a good year to get down pat, where everything is automated. Only thing I need to actually do is log into my CRM every day and make phone calls, because that's the only thing I haven't figured out how to automate yet. I've tried to do AI phone calls. They do not work well. They do not work well. But we got automatic texting now. We have AI texting that works fairly well. It says some crazy things sometimes. You got your drip campaigns, which have been around forever. Listing alerts, seller reports, all that great stuff, monthly newsletters. All of it's just automated, and just keeps people engaged in the system. And then you got to make the phone call, right?
Well, fabulous. I have to tell you, I've been speaking to a lot of agents, right? And the automation of this is what I think holds a lot of agents back. The ability to automate, even though these CRMs, right, do have the ability for it. We kind of felt they're built really for the masses.
Yeah.
And I see it, very few realtors being able to do what you're doing.
You have to know how to set it up. You have to know how to set it up. A lot of people get stuck on the technology part of it. If you just look into some guides, some YouTube, or just have somebody that knows what they're doing show you how to do it, it's really not super complicated to set up a CRM. Getting it running the right way, once it's done, and you almost never need to touch it again. You need to make tweaks here and there, but you almost never need to do it again. You can spend your time doing things like adding more leads to your database.
Yep, absolutely, love it. It's actually, part of this company, Agent Moves, that we're doing these interviews for. It's spot on. It's exactly what led this company to be, who we are, right? Some of the stats in this industry are crazy, right? Something like 75% of people do not use the same realtor that sold them their house to sell their home because they don't remember who they are.
Exactly.
And this all comes down to this follow-up nurture, because it's a 10-year average, right, that they move. Some could move 2 years after the sale. Some could move 20 years. But on average, let's say it's 10. You need to stay in touch with them, keep those touch points up. And it just seems to be the most difficult part about being an agent, is running these technologies, staying in touch, not let it feel like it's a templated doesn't sound like me
Yeah.
kind of a situation. So,
And I think
really,
the other thing that people don't realize is we're not in instant gratification business either. If you can buy leads that are ready to go right now, but if you're doing your own, I mean, I hate when people use the term buy, don't buy leads, because we're buying them in some way, shape, or form, through advertising or marketing. It just depends on how you are buying them. But when you're buying ready to go leads, like the Zillow leads or like the Realtor.com leads, those are leads that have been moved very far down the funnel already. They're ready to transact within the next couple of months, more often than not. We're not really in that type of business. We're in the business of finding people that are just starting to think about making a move. And that whole thought process from start to finish that can be, depending on the person, that can be 6 months, that can be 12 months, that can be 2 or 3 years. And you need to be in touch with them the entire time. You need to be engaging them the entire time, not in a salesy way, but coming from value. You have to be providing some sort of value. And I
spot
think a
on.
lot of agents struggle to see that we have value. That's the issues. They don't think that understanding the market or knowing their local market, or being able to price a home the right way, which is very important. It's the basics. It's very important. They don't think it's a valuable, a lot of people that don't think it's a valuable thing. If you don't think you are a valuable agent, people aren't going to use you. That's it.
No, you're spot on. Same with how do you value up the home, right? That's that wisdom you have that someone that owns a home, especially if they're a first-time home buyer, even if you've sold one or two, it's not the same. You're doing it every day. You know those things that can enhance the value for them to maximize what they want to get out of the house. It's great value. And those tips, give them away. You're the one that gives them away. Hopefully, you're going to be the one that they choose to list their house with. So
Yeah,
tell me about your
100%.
goals now, 2025 going forward. What kind of goals have you set for yourself?
So right now, I am actually in a period where I'm trying to work on my personal life. Funny enough, it has been a slower last couple of years. And what I am trying to do right now, because in my first few years, I didn't do an extraordinary amount of deals, but more than average. I was doing 20, 25, 30 in those range in the first few years. And I tried to build a team, and I learned the hard way that I did not have enough business to build the team that I was trying to build at the time. And then I realized I don't want to be doing the amount of business that I need to build that team. So what I'm doing now is I'm actually scaling back, and I'm working on trying to do less transactions with higher volume. So I'm actually working on a couple of some rebranding right now, because branding is pretty much everything. I can say I'm a luxury agent all day, every day, and eventually somebody's gonna believe me. So, but outside of that, I'm looking for just higher price point homes, and looking more for people that just, rather than trying to compete with several thousand agents on one lead. I'm just looking for people that are coming to me through advertising, coming to me through my branding, and actually seeing a little bit of success in it right now. It's not taking off like crazy at the moment. I haven't done anything extraordinary, but mostly what I've been doing throughout this year outside of that is I'm just trying to spend more time with my family. And I've had some health issues that I had to work out. So I'm actually trying to work less right now, trying to find a way to maintain the amount of money that I'm making while working less. So
Okay, hey, that's a goal, right? It doesn't always have to be about, life isn't about, I want to double sales, triple sales. There are more important things, right? So yeah, maintaining income and maintaining your health. Someone that's been through some massive health situations, nothing's more important, because how do you get to the next stage, especially with your, with your son and family?
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I love setting the priority. That's number one. You're doing some great things already. Again, I'm talking to a lot of agents. The automation you put in place, absolutely fantastic. Trying to like level up to this luxury side, beautiful. I mean, again, all the strategies you're setting in place, I think are terrific. And,
Appreciate it.
hopefully these things hit for you. 2025, hopefully is, that year you see these things, starting to pay out.
Yeah. Hopefully. And I'm actually going to throw it out there because I feel like we don't talk about health enough. And I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis when I was in my mid-20s. And it's something that comes and goes. And I wanted to put it out. I actually wanted to put that out there because I've met a lot of people that are, in the middle of a diagnosis like that or just found out something like that. And it feels like the end of the world when you learn something like that, but you can get through it. You can get through it, and you can, maybe not get rid of, certain things, but you can, get through the painful days and do better.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know where I was really going with that, but I just wanted to put it out there because we don't talk about that a lot. It's especially when I'm watching videos like this, everybody's always talking about, I'm going to the gym, I'm doing this, I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning. That's very hard for certain people to do. I'm one of those people where getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, it might not work every single day. I might not be able to get out of bed because of the way that I feel physically. It's something to put out there for, people that are going through that struggle. So,
Yeah, I love that, Justin. I happen to be a cancer survivor, very serious.
good for you.
And yes, when you're in it, and you should talk about it, I totally believe in it. And for other people and for yourself, let other people feel like, hey, I came out the other side of this after years, whatever battles that, you're dealing with every day, you're dealing with it and you're surviving and you got a great life going. So it's a great message.
I tried.
Yeah.
I lost it a little bit there at the end, but I think anybody listening to it will know where I was trying to go. The ADHD kicked in.
I'm right there now. I'm with you. Justin, thank you so much. I really appreciate everything you shared with us. Again, unique nuggets of information from different agents. That's what I was looking for. You have some really unique stuff. Glad to hear the success you've had and certainly the battle that, you're in right now. What a great attitude. And it was just great meeting you. Really, you've made my day, and I hope you have a great holiday as well.
You made my day as well. I appreciate it. It was nice to meet you.
You too. Hey, follow Justin on social. If you like what you see here, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us, and hopefully we'll bring you more of this. Thanks again, Justin.
Thank you.